Please welcome Dr. Nalyn Marcus from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Thanks. How's everybody doing tonight? So I thought it might be easier if I talked to you like we were just having a conversation. Two of my favorite visits are visit number 1 and visit number 2 because I get to teach and I get to talk. I used to get in trouble for talking in school. Now I get to talk. Visit number 1, I'm getting a lot of information from the new person, hopefully has been referred in, and I always ask, who can we thank for referring you to our office? And we find out that it's been word of mouth, and that's always a good thing. I have a little ad in a church bulletin, but pretty much it's all word of mouth. And so they come in and they fill out some paperwork online, and they bring that into us. And they get to be introduced to the office and get shown our lending library and get brought in and show where to park their car. They get brought in and have a brief orientation that's on video. And then they get to meet me, and I walk right in. They say, when the video's off, the door will open and the doctor will walk right in. They're not used to that at any other appointment when they go, yeah, the doctor will be right in. But in our office, we make sure that the doctor does come right in. So I shake their hand and I ask them if I can call them by their first name. Is it okay if I call you Irene? I make sure I tell them my first name because it's not that easy to say. And I say Nalyn, accents on the second syllable. Try to get them comfortable. And I go over their paperwork. And one of the first things I ask them is, I'm going to go over some things with you, and I'm going to talk to you in simple terms because it makes more sense. I'm not here to impress you. I want to educate you. Doctor means teacher. So I want to make sure I'm educating you. I'm going to be talking to you in what I call chiropractic hors d'oeuvres, little bite-sized pieces of education. And with any luck, somewhere along the way on this visit, you're going to say to me, that makes sense. So I'm always listening for that one phrase, oh, that makes sense. And then I know I got him. So I'll ask them, what year were you born? I don't say how old you are because maybe somebody might not be happy about that. I say, what year were you born? Oh, I was born in 1974. It's like, okay, so basically you're driving a 1974 model car that's never had a tune-up or never had an alignment. What kind of performance do you think that car would give you, that engine would give you? I want to know what brought you in today, but I want to know where this car has been. I want to know what roads it's been on. So you're going to be telling me a little bit about your past and about your present that brought you here today. Because I know why you think you're here, but I want to see everything from birth all the way because it's important to me to take better care of you. So I want to know where you've been and where you're going. I'm going to ask you some questions. And I've put together what I call a list of trigger questions, and here's why. When I got to the chiropractic office as a teenager and they looked at my x-rays, they said, oh wow, you must have been in a really bad car accident. And I said, no. And then the chiropractor didn't ask me anything else after that. And it wasn't until I was in my 30s at Sherman College that it just occurred to me. I said, I got hit in the neck with a baseball bat at a family picnic when I was 14 years old. You think maybe that was the reason why the end of that summer I was allergic to everything and got excused from chores, which was pretty cool. I didn't have to clean the bathroom, the kitchen, or the floor anymore because I was sneezing and coughing. So now I'm in this chair and you're in that chair, and now I want to ask you more questions to help you maybe remember some of the things that have happened to your framework, because the stresses that you've had in your life have brought you here. You start your life with an empty cup, and then the things that happen are what fill into that cup, and sometimes the things that spill over are what create the stresses in our life. So I've created a list of trigger questions that I ask them, and I tell them, these are yes and no answers, but they may make you think about some things later. So you're going to come in on visit 2 or visit 3 and go, I forgot to tell you. So I say, does it ever bother you when you cough or when you sneeze? Have you ever had any stitches? Have you ever been brought to the emergency room for any reason? Have you ever been knocked unconscious? And then they're like, no, well, yeah, come to think of it, when I was 8, but that's when I was 8. It's like, you think it matters what happened when you were 8? That maybe you fell down the stairs with the roller skates on and you hit your head? That maybe you can't see to drive real well? So I ask those questions to help them to remember. And I ask them things like, do you snore? Do you sleep on your belly, on your back? Are you a flipper? What's fun is I ask them, do you snore? And they go, well, my husband says I snore. They don't hear themselves that they can snore. But I do ask a lot of different questions. I also tell them, I know why you're here, but I need to tell you, I will listen, but really, I'm not here to fix what's wrong with you. I am here to fix and work with what's right within you. And what's right within you is your body has an intelligence that's constantly striving to get you adapted. If this room is hot, you're going to perspire and cool off. If this room is cold, you're going to shiver. So I'm going to help you to be more you. All right? If your name is John, I want to help you to be more John. I want you to be more Jay. You fix you. I fix me. We all have the ability to self-heal within us. And that's the beauty and the gift of life. We have that all within us. We have an intelligence. So I'm going to make sure that there's a good flow going on from the brain to the body and from the body to the brain so that you're expressing more life or more light. And if this sentence makes sense to you, let me see what you think. The sentence, dentists look for cavities, and if they find a cavity, they fill it, and then they teach you about dental hygiene. That's a pretty okay sentence for most people. So watch this. Chiropractors check for subluxations, and they correct them with an adjustment, and then they teach you about spinal hygiene. Okay? Now, sub means under, and lux comes from light or life, and so a subluxation is living in less light. Would you want to be less light or more light? Okay? So we all want to live more brightly, so a subluxation is something we don't want to live with. I actually write a newsletter like that called the Subluxation Free Press. And so I'm always trying to give them that opportunity to learn and to teach them. So if your body is connected and bright and you're flowing above down the way you should be, do you think you can take better care of yourself? Do you think you can, you think you can play tennis better if you could do that? Do you think you might be more connected? You think you might be able to share with your friends and family more of who you are and be more alive? That's what I'm trying to do. And I say, you know what? It's not your fault. You've had all these years of soap and water. You know what personal hygiene is, and toothbrush and toothpaste, that's dental hygiene. And maybe spinal hygiene you thought you knew was just making sure you bend your knees to pick out the trash. As I get to know you better, I want to see if I can give you some more tools to take better care of yourself, because I'm only seeing you in my office for a couple of minutes for an adjustment, but I want to see if maybe you can take your information in the rest of your life in 24/7 and take better care of yourself, and then take better care of your family, and maybe better care of your community. You see, I really should tell you something too. I walk my talk. I get my spine checked for subluxation every Monday morning so that I can serve the right way. So I do believe in it, and I've been getting my spine checked since I'm 13, 14, and now my mom wishes that she would have had us all checked when we were little. As the oldest of 5 girls, you know, there's a lot of things that can happen, right? So I make sure that I try to make a connection with those people. I try to find maybe what music they're listening to. So if you're listening to hip-hop, I want to try to talk chiropractic hip-hop. If you're listening to reggae, I want to talk to you in that music, and classical, and, you know, country. But I find that place. If I don't find that place, I find that static, and then they don't get the chiropractic message. And I tell them, you know, you've got a bathroom cabinet, and you know that there's things in there. Let's create a new cabinet together. Let's create a well cabinet, and I'd like to give you some tools to take better care of yourself at home and at work and at play and at worship, so that you can be the best that you can be. I also use another metaphor, and we talk about how if we've been to high school, we usually had a locker and a locker combination. Everybody's got a locker combination, and there's maybe 36 numbers on there. I might need 3 or 4 numbers to know how to unlock your spine when I find that the vertebra is out of alignment. I need to know the sequence, and I need to know the order so that I can unlock you. So everybody's different, and how I check you is not how I check you. How I check my mom is not how I check my dad. So everybody's different, and sometimes people get adjusted even sitting up. Some people are ticklish, you know. So we check infants, we check elders, we check everybody in between. We want to make sure that as long as you have breath in your body and a pulse, you should get your spine checked and tell other people about this, because in this office we work with hands and heart, and I like to think I'm good at 2 things. I'm good at getting results, and I'm good at educating. And that's the message that I give in my office around visit 2. So thank you.